Okay. Wow. All right. So your underlying energy is the Six of Cups. Underneath that is the Devil. Oh. Underneath that is the King of Swords. I don't know if you're all seeing an actual Aquarius, but this is definitely someone that's very stern on their truth. It's good at communicating, master at at logical thinking. You know, this person is very much using their thoughts. They're very detached. They're really good at making very logical decisions because they don't let their emotions get involved. But this person you could be dealing with somebody that is like I said, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So this could have been you, Leos, because the King of Swords is your opposite sign, but it does indicate there's a like heavy amount of seriousness with this, and it has to do with something regarding the past, right? It has to do with the past and what you feel you're connected to. I feel like there's some sort of karmic connection between you and an individual from the past. And I feel like either you were serious about it, or you're very serious about this connection, or somebody was very serious in regards to the relationship. Let me see. Why is the King of Swords coming up? The Star. Well, definitely we got some dual Aquarius energy coming back up. But someone was very serious about this relationship, and I feel like there's some sort of flashback with this relation, with this kind of with the situation with your current relationship, or there's some sort of or maybe somebody came back from the past. Something tells me as well there may have been some sort of toxicity in a past relationship, but obviously there's always remembering of good memories, or there's just plain old remembering good memories with the Six of Cups. That's interesting to me, okay? But the focus of this reading, the energy, has a lot to do with the past, the rose-tinted glasses, or a soulmate connection. And now the Six of Cups is the rose-tinted glasses, because typically when the Six of Cups comes up, so you're only remembering the good times, not remembering the bad times behind it. And I feel like there was a period of time, either that there was some sort of toxicity, or there was just some sort of dynamic that made someone feel inferior. Now, in the heart of your reading, you have the Ten of Wands. So some sort of burden is kind of weighing on you guys this time. I feel like it has to do with the past, especially with some sort of ex that you may be encountering, or someone that you're dealing with from the past, or someone that reminds you of someone from the past year. Because the Six of Cups can just pretty much mean that you remember something, or something reminds you of the past. But I feel like that with the Ten of Wands here, there's some definite, there's some burdens from the past here that's weighing on you guys. But I think here's the thing. Whatever happened here with the Six of Cups, the burden is causing you to feel a bit of doubt. Or there's some sort of doubt that arises from this, because you have the Seven of Pentacles crossing. Now this is about, not sure of being able to, not necessarily being able to, or wanting to put in effort, or do something that would require a little bit more work. You've come so far, but the situation is this: you're questioning whether or not, or either that or someone that you're dealing with is questioning whether or not this is worth the effort or the time being put in. And I feel like that's the thing. Maybe either some of you guys may actually have so much on your plate right now that's why you're considering it. Because the ten of Wands, would indicate that you have a lot of responsibilities. You're burdened with a lot of obligation, which would obviously make so much sense why you would be questioning whether or not this is something you really want to continue with. If you've been lugging most of the wood all over the place, right? If you've been doing the heavy lifting, it's understandable if you're kind of having second thoughts about continuing. If this is a situation from the past, though, it kind of gets a little, it does get interesting, because the situation is this of the past. Like, it's not happening now. I think there may be a situation for some of you guys out there where there is happiness that's reoccurring, which is why you're having memories or flashbacks or reminders, or even somebody from the past coming back. But the situation is this: it's almost like it's too much of a burden, and that's why you're not sure if you really want to delve in deep with this, or maybe there's some sort of history with an individual you're not sure you want to connect with or deal with. Now, in the past, you have the Nine of Cups, which indicates, dreams, wishes, contentment, because the Nine of Cups is the card for manifestation. It's the wish card. And the reason why, you have contentment and manifestation mixed together is because you manifest based off of how you feel versus, feel about yourself, content about, what your dreams are, not necessarily constantly wanting it. You know what I'm saying? So the Nine of Cups coming up in this reading, it's good. It's your foundation is this. It's like you knew what you wanted and you knew exactly what your dreams were, what you were trying to go after. And in that kind of respect, you were okay with with yourself. You were okay with your, what you're going after because you knew it was possible. And now you have to make a decision about where to go, where, what direction you're going to be taking, and you just can't go in the direction that you've been going on for a while, which is probably why the Ten of Wands is coming up here. It's almost like you're looking at that Ten of Wands and you're like, no, I have to drop this burden. I can't keep moving forward with all this stuff on my plate. I got to take another direction. I got to go in a different direction with this. And that's the same thing, right? You kind of, the situation, the reason why you're making, it may be difficult to make a decision, but listen, hear me out. Two of Wands typically isn't a difficult decision to make. It's actually one of the most encouraging and exciting decisions you can make within the tarot. And I feel like with this Two of Wands, it becomes difficult because you're tired of lugging around the same old stuff and you're not sure if you really want to continue down a particular route. But at the same time, you have invested something that you've wanted for some time, or something that you desired, and it's like it's still going on along that goal. It's weird. You have the Nine of Wands here in your external energy, which dictates to me, which would indicate to me that you're not giving up on what it is that this was. Whether this was a dream relationship, getting back together with an ex, right? But you've been, like I said, it looks like you've been doing a lot of work. It looks like you've been putting yourself out there. You've been really busting your ass. And now that, there's a decision to make and it's close to the end, it's exhausting. You're exhausted. So it makes sense, right? You being exhausted, tired of being patient, because you've been doing this for a long time. Seven of Pentacles, that's not a quick energy. That energy is very slow. That will take you some time. And the fact that you got to the Seven at all is awesome. But the fact of the matter is that you're tired. Tired of waiting on things. You're tired of being overburdened with responsibilities. Tired of tackling all this stuff. And I feel like the situation is this, right? It's a kind of the decision between going after your dream or going after something completely different. Tackling a total different element altogether. But it's the memory of this happiness that's keeping you going. That's the thing that's keeping you, that's keeping you revved up, that's keeping you in that direction. And I feel like wherever you're trying to go, you're getting closer to it. Because the Nine of Wands is definitely in your external energy. Comparing with the Two of Wands, you're only a couple steps away from completing it. You are even completing the cycle. You're very close. The Ten of Wands is your challenge. Completing the cycle is a challenge. But it's a burden because it's not completed, right? Whatever you're trying to get to, whether this is a relationship or a career or whatever, it's becoming more and more of a task and a headache than it's becoming more of a wish of a dream fulfillment. But I feel like with the focus of where you've been is a good thing, to see that you are diligent, that you are willing to do the things that you need to do to get to where you want to be. This is also progress building of, this is progress of where you're trying to get to. There's nothing wrong with reflecting on how, on where you've come from, or how far you've come. But I feel like you're that close. You're so close to it. And I feel like you guys know that you're so close to getting whatever this is that you want, whether this is reconnecting with an ex or getting into a relationship that you could feel like like a relationship that you feel that you're in a very young way. What I'm trying to say is pretty much like, how you first fall in love, right? It's like that. It's like almost like it may not be exactly like the past, like exactly falling in love with someone like the first time, or falling in love with anyone for the first time, but you feel that happiness again. And it first came from the self. You made yourself happy, you were good, and that is in a way, manifesting in the physical, but it's come to a point where it's just like, oh my God, it's extremely exhausting. But I feel like the focus is not necessarily how much progress you've made. It's a good measuring stick, and it shows you where you've come from, where you've been. But I think that the most important thing is to remember, since you're so close to where you are, and you don't want what you want. Obviously, the Nine of Wands wouldn't come up, because the Nine of Wands is not just exhaustion; it's also not giving up. You haven't not given up yet. You haven't given up, beforehand. Seven of Pentacles. You're at this peak now, whether you feel like it's worth the effort or not. But you can almost taste it. That's why this Ten of Cups here is in your future. You can taste the victory. You can taste the ending, or the happiness that you'll be able to finally feel and see. Mostly feel, because the Ten of Cups is not the Ten of Pentacles. It's not something tangible, but it is something that you can feel, and that you can know within yourself that you've got harmony and balance. You've reached this peak. You're at a lot of endings here. You got 2 10s and 2 9s. And I feel like the reason why the goal, aim, ambition, and your advice is the Queen of Cups is because the focus should be mainly on what it is that you love, rather than how much you've been putting into it. Because, like I said, it's always good to make a marker, but the situation is not about how far you've come and whether or not this is, it's, unless the progress and how much you put in is such a big deal. I don't think that you would have gone through everything that you've gone through to kind of, just leave it now, right? Because this is something that you wanted. This is something that you've manifested. This is something you love. The Queen of Cups only does what she loves. She focuses on what she loves. She's the nurturer, the carer, she loves herself and she loves the people around her. And the focus, and I feel like you guys still want that. You want to be in love. You want to have someone that is your ideal partner. You want to have your ideal partner, whether that's a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or this is your dream lover here. This is someone that you want. This is your ideal partner. And I feel like your ideal partner is right here in the middle, but it's just like, I don't know what problems they're giving you or what struggle that you're having here, but you're literally so close to just completely having what it is that you want. But it starts by putting down the burden of looking at everything that you've been through. Like I said before, there's nothing wrong with a marker. But if it's causing you to question whether or not it's worth your dreams or not, of course, right? Then I guess you can kind of think about it and say, okay, well, I don't know if this is something I want, if I have to do X, Y, and Z. There is more work to do. But you have to follow your heart. It's more important to follow your heart versus the effort and the work involved, because anything you want to do may require work, but it's about whether or not if it makes you happy. If it truly makes you happy, why not continue? But again, that's your decision. Now your outcome is the Empress, which is pretty awesome. You're divine feminine here, and this indicates creativity. This talks about caretaking, abundance, creating, have happiness. And I feel like you can make this. This is you, right? Even though this is the card for Taurus, I feel like for some of you guys, you've been working very hard to create something for yourself that makes you feel good. Not just about yourself, but about your relationships. And I feel like with this energy here, with this Empress, you want to be able to be surrounded. You want to be able to you want to be surrounded by the happiness that you created. You want to be comfortable. You want to feel safe. You want to feel like some of you guys, if this doesn't apply, it doesn't apply. But I feel like with your outcome here, you can create the happiness that you're looking for. The Empress created a utopia for herself and for her children. Some of you guys, you're trying to have children right now, and it may be a little bit of a struggle. But I feel like with the Ten of Cups being the family card here, you may have that. But it requires you to keep moving, keep going. Focus on what it is that makes you happy. Do what you love and love what you do. And why you're doing it. I'm going to go ahead and pull you guys your romance angels for the next couple of weeks. But y'all been busting your asses, man. You guys have been really, really working hard and really working hard because this is something you truly believe in. Get to know each other. As you reveal your inner selves to each other, your bond deepens. I like that. Don't give up yet. Get to know each other a little bit more. There may be some things that you may find about each other that is compatible, that's, you know, that you can work with. And even so, you may even find that the burden that you have can be divvied up. You can probably trust the person. All right, let's see what's going on with your messenger oracle. And it says, focus, and then act. Focus, and then act. It's pretty much what I was just saying. Focus on what it is that you want. Because right now, what you want is the Queen of Cups. Your goal that you're trying to get to is the Queen of Cups. That's either you, someone else, or that's your ideal lover. That's you in love, period. Returning to contentment. Having everything that you want. You know, being emotionally secure, but vulnerable and okay with it. But it starts by focusing on what it is that you've been trying to do. It's okay to make a tally, but if you're doing something, if you're going after dreams based off of the amount of time and the amount of effort that you're doing them, then I don't know how to move forward. You know, you create because it's something that you want. You create because it's something that you feel good about. You don't create based off of the length of time that you've had to build up to it. Sometimes things happen overnight. Some things happen with over a year. Some things happen for decades. Some things happen for eons. Sometimes it just takes some time. But I feel like with everything that you've been through, with everything that you're developing, it's worth it because it's something that's going to make you feel good. At least make sure that it is the case, you know. Make sure that it is making you happy. It's a burden, yes, but if it's not making you happy, if the thing that you're trying to get to is not making you happy, then that is the reason why you have to make a decision whether to go one way or the other. But you have to focus. What is it that you want? And then when you know what you want, you just go after it.